Arthur, students were asking because I think they have the lab they cannot attend. We will be able to record it.
Yes, ma'am.
We can record it.
Okay.
All right. So Arthur, will it let me share? Let me try sharing. Now, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So thank you, everyone, for attending. My name is Mohammed Yusufuddin. I am the JAMP director. I do other things, but I don't want to drone on about that. I'm sure you're here to talk or hear about JAMP. What JAMP is, just to get into it right away, is the Joint Admission Medical Program. It is a state-funded program that provides a pathway for students who are economically disadvantaged, but otherwise competitive for medical school. They provide a pathway to medical school. So this is like I said, a state-funded program. We get funds from the state to support it. So what kind of things does JAMP provide? It provides partial scholarships for your undergraduate education. It also has summer programs with stipends. The first year will be like an internship. The first summer program will be like an internship. The second summer program later in JAMP is kind of like a clinical enrichment program at a medical school. There's MCAT preparation, and there's also the most important thing. It guarantees admission to one of the 13 medical schools, and there's 15 medical schools. It guarantees admission to 13 of them. And then after you're done with your school at UNT Dallas, there are some partial scholarships for medical school as well. So the summer internships, admittedly, we don't know very much about it. We just started the program this year. We're our first full year, and we have several students who applied, but a student has not yet reached the part where they do these clinical internships. But there's one after your student is admitted. There's one in the first year, and then there's one in the second year. You can think of them as preparation for medical school, the kind of things that you will be doing in medical school. It prepares you for those kind of activities. There's one in summer one in that first year in the program. There's one in the second year of the program. Another very important thing is the MCAT preparation. So one of the things that students have difficulty with is the MCAT. Although while you're in the program, you are guaranteed admission if you complete it. You still have to meet a minimum GPA when you get out, and you also have to score a minimum grade on the MCAT. So the MCAT preparation is very important. The CARS section, the critical and analysis and reasoning skill, that's the section everyone seems to have trouble with. So the MCAT preparation spends a lot of time on that. And they do that in the first summer. And also with the biology, chemistry, and physics, there is a heavy review of that material during your first year. And then there's some live courses for things like biochemistry and the upper division biologies as you prepare for the MCAT. So the good thing about it is once you're in, we make sure that you stay in, and we make sure that you meet all the benchmarks you need to complete the program. And like I said, the very important, if not the most important thing, is your guaranteed admission. Once you're accepted and you complete the program and you graduate, you're guaranteed admission to one of these 13 medical schools, and there's 15 total. The only reason we don't have an agreement with all 15 is 2 of them are new. The other ones not listed here. One is the University of Incarnate Word in San Antonio. The other one is the TCU UNT Medical School in Fort Worth. So they just came online a year or so ago. So we just don't have an agreement with them yet, but we're trying to work towards that. But these 13, you will be matched with one of them once you complete the program. Like I said, that's the best part of it is you don't have to worry about medical school once you complete it. So that's the lead in, all the things that JAMP provides. And if that interests you, then this is how you apply and get accepted. There's a regular admission track, and if you're an early college, high school student, we also have an early admission track. So this is the regular admission track. So everyone here, at least we've invited the Bio 1710 students because you probably graduated from high school this year. So everyone here, if you graduated in May 2021, you would be eligible to apply October 2022. And so we have students who are applying this year because they graduated in May 2020. So if you graduated in May 2021, you are now in the period where you have to complete your requirements if you want to apply for JAMP. And then after you apply and you get in, there's some other things you need to do to stay in JAMP, and that's outlined here. But the most important thing is in that first year, there's some requirements for JAMP. And that's the next slide here. You have to have in your first year, if you want to apply October 2022, you have to complete 27 hours of credits, which is usually not a problem if you're a incoming freshman. You should be able to complete that by your spring semester. The thing that is sometimes can be challenging is also in that first year, you have to complete 8 hours of chemistry. The chemistry requirement is nothing we can do about that. That's what the program says. You have to finish chemistry by the time you apply October 2022. Now, if you're not in chemistry right now, that's okay. We have an off semester sequence, general chemistry 1 in the spring and a general chemistry 2 in the summer. In case you want to apply, you'd have to take that sequence in order to meet the requirements. The other requirements are a GPA. You have to have a minimum 3.25 GPA in overall and in the BCPM meaning biology, chemistry, physics, and math. Okay, and then I have a link there for the full requirements, but those are the most important ones. And probably the most important one is the general chemistry requirement. You also have to have taken the SAT or ACT and scored at least average, the average score for Texas, and those numbers are as of fall 2020 are listed here. So if you had a score above 1010 on your SAT or 20 on your ACT, then you're also eligible to apply. If you haven't taken the SAT or ACT, I know during the pandemic, our school removed some requirements for SAT and ACT, but you can still take it to apply. There's nothing preventing you from taking it to apply to the program. So you can apply, you can take it. We had a student who took it, they completed 1 year and they took it so they could apply to the program. So there's nothing wrong with doing that if you haven't taken the SAT. And like I said, it's for students who are economically disadvantaged. So you have to show that by way of your FAFSA or FAFSA application. So you have to show that you're receiving financial aid, and the requirements for the contribution are listed there. And because of the requirements for FAFSA, unfortunately, you have to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. as of now, we don't have a mechanism for DACA students. So in order to get financial aid, you would have to have you would have to show that you're a permanent resident or a U.S. citizen. Now, the 3.25 GPA, that's a minimum, but not to say that that's all you need to get in. I don't want students to think this is some backdoor way to get into medical school. It's for students who could get in anyway, but maybe medical school is financially not possible for them. This is one way to help students who would get in on their own but just can't pay for it because their financial situation is such that they can't. So this would be that way, that path to allow them to get in. So you notice these numbers, the students who matriculate, they have GPAs around 3.8, 3.9 anyway. So you have to be competitive for medical school to be a JAMP student. So I just wanted to make that point. And again, I'm the faculty director. Anyone who's interested in applying, we also have JAMP advising committees or advising committee members. We are your first point of contact, and then I would help you apply. And so if you have interest, you let us know, and we'll guide you in the direction of how to get your application through. And here's my great advising team. That's me on the left, and Dr. Varga, Dr. Livingston, Dr. Slamia, and Miss Ashley Tynes, who works in advising. And yes, we are that happy all the time. And we are always happy to talk to students, especially about professional school, and not just medical school. We do have a medical school program like this, but any questions about professional, graduate, whatever you'd like to do, we're happy to help you and guide you to that path. Okay, so like I said, that's I didn't want to spend too much time. I wanted to answer your questions more than anything else. That was sort of a quick run through, and just to give you a flavor of what it is. If you're interested, we can talk more about it. But I wanted to give some time for the students to ask questions, and I'm happy to answer any of them. And feel free. I think we have a chat function if you want to write your name or write your question in the chat. Feel free to do that. So if I could ask the students participating, how many of you did graduate in spring 2021? You could show your hands if you have that function. Okay, so we have just about, okay, looks like one student graduated in spring 2021. Okay, so yeah, so like I said, if you graduate spring 2021, then you would be eligible to apply in October of 2022.
Dr. Yusufuddin, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
My question is, where is the internship and MCAT preparations happening for this program?
They happen at they're at the medical schools, one of those partnered medical schools. The students actually travel to the site, and then they stay and complete the internship and the clinical internship as well. The site isn't determined until later. It just depends on the schedule of that school, but that they travel to the site for those 2 internships.
Thank you.
Now, again, that's something we know very little about because we have students applying, and we hope this year students will be accepted. So we have yet to have a student attend that internship. So once they do, then we can hear about it and give that student or give that information to the rest of it. Okay, so there's a, let me see, there's a question in the chat. Yes, if you're early college, high school, there's if you're graduating 2023, then whatever school you go to, if you decide to come to us, we hope you come to our school. You are eligible for this program in 2024. So while you're in high school now, and finish your high school, and then if you stay in Texas for your college, most likely one of your schools or the school you attend will have this program. But if you don't know, if you go to the website, and I'll type it in here. If you go to this website, it will show you what schools are in the program. And then once you graduate from high school, you are eligible to attend or apply the next year. Good question.
Can I ask a question, Dr. Wyatt?
Yes.
From a course sequence standpoint, if you are a freshman right now and you did not make it into a college algebra course this fall, are you going to be offering chemistry 1 and 2 next summer, or just chemistry 2?
As of now, we can only offer chemistry 2. If there is enough students to offer chemistry 1, we can offer chemistry 1. We just generally don't have enough students to make that course.
Okay.
Yeah. But algebra, you have to have algebra to take chemistry. That's a good point.
Right. Thank you.
And the other thing I should mention is it's not enough to take general chemistry in your first year. If you get into the program, and we hope you apply and get in, you have to take organic chemistry in your second year. So you have to take Gen Chem 1 and 2 in your first year and OChem 1 and 2 in your second year, which is can be challenging, but you have to take your MCAT in your junior year, and you need the OChem part of it to do that.
Mohammed, there are nowadays like dual credit students. I don't know if it's possible they complete their chemistry requirements in high school.
We don't have a dual credit agreement with any school yet, so they would have to take it. They could get an AP credit for 4 of the hours, but they would have to take chemistry for the other 4.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Yes, that's something in the chat. I already graduated high school, but with my associates, so technically I'll be graduating my BS in 23, and right now I'm a freshman. So I meant, do I still qualify if I technically qualify if I'm a freshman this year at UNT, but we'll be graduating as a sophomore next year, even though the program is 2 summers. If you graduated this year in high school, there's nothing requiring you to graduate early from college. You have credits. Everyone comes in with credits. You may have a lot of credits. That doesn't mean you have to graduate early. You can, once you're in the program, you can stagger it out so that you graduate at a pace that maybe JAMP could keep up with. I've not heard anything about that. That is a unique case that if you can graduate in 2 years or maybe less than that, you can still apply. There's nothing keeping you from applying, and we can discuss your graduation path because there's nothing in the requirements that says you can't graduate early. You just have to graduate on time. So we can certainly work with you if you're on a pace to graduate early. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, I was going to add in as well for the students on this call who are majoring in a STEM field who are not early college high school. I'm currently serving as your academic advisor. So if you have specific plans about your graduation timeline based on any credit that you brought over, you can request a meeting with me and I'll put my email in the chat. So that way we can talk specifically about your situation and what that timeline would look like.
Thank you, Ashley.
No problem.
Mohammed, also there was a student in my class today that she was asking about the PA program.
Yes, we have the professional pre-health professional school, pre-health professional club, where we bring in PA schools to talk to the students. It's kind of like a recruiting event. This would not be a PA school opportunity, but we will have events. I'm the advisor for pre-health professional club. We will have events for PA school, for dental school, medical school, all the professional schools, health professional schools. We will have them attend or give some webinars like this for students interested in those professional schools.
All right, thank you.
So Lauren, you had a good question. Did I answer your question? And you can just type in the chat if you can. Okay. Any other questions?
I have one more question. So for the students in the call, if they are really thinking about applying to JAMP, what should be their next step to get started with the process and let someone know that they're interested?
I would say, I'm going to put my email here. Email me or email anybody who is a JAMP advising committee member, Dr. Mehdi, Dr. Varga, Dr. Livingston, Ms. Tynes, or myself. We will, you identify yourself as a person interested in JAMP, and we'll let you know what the next step is as far as what you need to take, what courses you need to take, and then how to apply by the deadline. But the important thing is we should know before the spring, because if you haven't taken chemistry, we need to have you complete chemistry before the deadline next year. Thank you for that question.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no other questions, I want to thank you all for attending this informational session. Like I said, if you have any questions, reach out to me, reach out to any of our committee members, and we'll be happy to answer them. And we hope there's interest here and some of you intend to apply. And if you do, we'll be happy to help you. All right, I hand it back to you, Arthur.
No worries. I want to say thank you as always, sir, for being gracious with your time. And thank you to the JAMP Advising Committee. And we hope that our students take the initiative to follow through on this great initiative and great program. We're wanting to see our UNT Dallas students prosper, and this is just one of the ways that that assist them on their journey. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we hope to see you guys soon. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.